Probably ain't heard nothing I just said. I didn't have the mic on. Oh Lord. Anyway, I want to do a number running my mouth saying that you could tell by my eyes that my allergies is kicking up and I need to get some Zyrtec. I like to get it from Costco because they tend to have it's like every time it's time for me to re-up, they have like a special and it'd be like, oh excuse me, like 150 tabs or something like that. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, which you should be able to hear me now. Because I didn't have my mic turned on. So the first few minutes first few seconds might not have heard. But anyway, y'all, so for the new people to the live, I am T. Welcome to the Same OT YouTube channel. And on Thursdays, I go live and it's called Tell Me Something Good Thursdays. So the intention is that people will come and join me on live, share their wins, share things, funny things, and then sometimes we get into kind of deep conversations or things that's not so funny. Thank you, Danette. How you doing today? You all the way in California, so if it's 7 here in Chicago, what is it, 5 out there? Is it 2? Yeah, I think it's two areas over. Is it 5 o'clock where you are? Make sure I still know how to calculate that time. Yeah, I definitely gonna have to get some Zyrtec. Hi, Jaden. Yeah, okay. So I still know how to divvy up those standard times. So anyway, guys, so here on Thursdays, we like to always start out with our wins. So if anybody hi Donna, if anybody has any wins, anything positive, anything good that happened to you so far this week, please share it in the chat. I will read it out and we can maybe talk about it a little bit and then I'll share my wins. Because we always want to have something. A win don't have to be a big, huge thing. Sometimes it's just surviving something, So anybody have any wins this week to get us started? I know it's kind of like a pause because you could be typing. So I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead with my wins. So right before I got on, I checked my YouTube studio and we are at 780 subs. I like to call my subs over here the Real Ones Tribe. Man, y'all just don't know how good that feel. I've gained a lot of real ones in the last maybe week, maybe 6 days. Hi, C from DC. Maybe not even a full week. Things kind of kicked off with my memorial video. And I can't remember if I uploaded it that last Friday or Saturday morning. I think I'm almost positive I recorded it on Friday, but I can't remember if I uploaded it and released it on Friday. Excuse me. But with that, I started, getting traction. People started finding the channel. And then that Saturday, I did a really impromptu quick video just talking about how I thought I had kind of escaped being invited. Like I didn't get an invitation in my door, didn't see people walk in my neighborhood. So I don't know if they even returned to doing, kind of campaign style door to door for the memorial. I know they used to do that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been around. And so I had did a video about that. And then I did some shorts from that. And it just seemed like it just was taking off. So I'm so excited about it. Not just because it gets me closer to, full monetization and being able to, access the full, what's it called, partner program or what have you. But to me, it just confirms like people rock with, they vibe with what I'm putting out. And so that's a good feeling. So that's a major win for me. My goal was obviously, to be back consistent, giving you all quality content that you can relate to, whether you are here because of your JW experience, or I also, have people who come and watch JW content that don't have no clue. So your curiosity, or just people maybe in another kind of high control religion, organization, or what have you. But also, I have people who resonate with me as, a 50-year-old woman, a nurse, having sister locks and things like that. So I like to think that my niche is, lifestyle, empowerment, self-improvement. And it just so happened to hit on, certain things, specifically my XJW experience and things of that nature. So I recognize that I was providing a safe space, because people in the comments really, say things that really touch my heart. And so that's when I realized, like, no, it's not going to necessarily, the channel not going to be 110% always JW content, but it's definitely going to have its space here, because I see that it's needed. So that was my big win for the day. For the week. And I had to go to the city. As some of you all know, if you watch quite a few of my videos, I am from born and raised in the city of Chicago, but I live in the suburbs now. And I had to go to the city. So some people might say, I don't know how you think this is a win. But so over 10 years ago, I did own a rental property. Matter of fact, I own two. And I surrendered them. I'm gonna be fully transparent. I had did a chapter 13 in my mid 30s. So a chapter 13 is basically when you are consolidating your debt. The the creditors are agreeing to no longer charge you, interest, and you just pay whatever that debt is down. Usually in, like, I think a 5-year period. Well, I had done that. Mine was a 5-year, and I had done that for 4.5 years. So then one of my friends was like, I was in nursing school, about in the middle of my nursing school career. And my friend was like, why are you still, paying the bankruptcy? And I wasn't working. I was basically putting myself through nursing school through my pension that I had pulled down from being a teacher. And so my friend was like, well, you can get it converted to a chapter 7. Chapter 7 is when they just wipe out your debt and you don't, pay nothing back or whatever. And I was like, can I do that? So I went back to the bankruptcy attorneys, and they was like, yes, you qualify, da 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 da. And so the last 6 months got converted into a 7. But part of that is I had to, surrender the rental properties, which I was fine. I was always being a landlord. It is not the flex that people think it is. People feel entitled. It's a hot mess. I think, sometimes my one of my uncles tried to tell me, like, just have somebody manage it for you. But I was like, well, I'm gonna pay these people 6-7% to do it. I don't know if that would have made the experience better. In my experience, and I'm not saying this is of all renters, but people feel entitled. They just feel entitled sometimes when they don't own. That's my little 2 cents. So anyway, let me get to the win. So my other property, nothing was, they took it back, whatever, did their paperwork. I've never had any issues with that. But this one particular property, this has been going on for 11 years. I don't own it no more, right? I don't have the right to go in there and fix it up or rent it out or move in. I don't have those rights. But the mortgage company, bank, or whoever that owns it has not completed the paperwork. So about every 3 years, I end up getting ordinances from the city of Chicago about the grass. And it's $600 a pop. And whoever this inspector is, he must have it on his calendar that every 3 years he's going to go and, write it up. And he it's like, the property is not lived in, right? Because the bank had it boarded up, winterized, and all that stuff. Like I say, I ain't had nothing to do with it in over 10 years. And so they hit me again, basically. And so I've been, so in January, I went, they gave me a continuation because they said, okay, we're going to research and see who owned it, which I already knew was going to come back and say me because I'm the last person like on the deed because the bank, didn't do their part. And that's what happened today. But I got a fairly understanding city attorney. And so she said, because I said, I'm trying to look for legal counsel, somebody, because this is like holding me hostage. So anyway, she gave me a continuation and she gave me a continuation in September. So I take that as a win because now that gives me 5 months to find somebody to help me figure out what bank or mortgage company owns this. And then I don't know, take them to small claims court or something to get them to move, to do something. Like it's literally a matter of them turning in a piece of paper to the city of Chicago to say, yes, we own this property. And then they'll stop harassing me. So my win is I didn't get a butthole attorney today or lawyer for the city. And she gave me 5 months to hopefully find somebody to help me out and get me out of this. Because I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. It'll be 11 years, I think, in June or July. This is crazy. All right, Danette said, yes, you seem to be putting out positive vibes. However, I'm still stuck by being shunned and being a natural mother. It's been heartbreaking to have never my grandchildren, so nothing good today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So you and being a natural mother, it's been heartbreaking. So are you saying you never seen your grandchildren? Are you saying you're being shunned by your children? Danette? Yeah, nothing good about that. I'm still drinking my juice, y'all. While we wait for Danette to respond, I'm trying mint. I don't know if I'm crazy about it. So in this is spinach, mint. What's in here? Spinach, mint, apple, lemon, ginger. I don't know if I'm crazy about mint, but I bought it, so I have to use it because I don't believe in being wasteful. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Danette. That's really terrible. And those are the things that we definitely, need to talk about and provide a space for people because, um, like I mentioned in some of my other stories, I'm the only one who, out of my immediate family, became a witness. So I didn't have, the heartbreak, of or the struggle of dealing with when one person wake up but the rest of the family is still in. Um, so my heart always go out to people who are being shunned, not in communication with their family, and it's crazy because we all know that if the governing body tomorrow was to say, you see how they say, oh, if they disfellowship, you can talk to them a little bit more, kind of thing, right? Because of the whole Norway thing. At least that's the way I understood it. But it's like if they say, oh, disfellowship, you can talk to them or remove the whatever term they're using now. People would jump at it, but that hurts because people are like, really? I can only imagine in your case where your own kids that you birthed, are shunning you. Like I gave birth to you. Uh Shadadalik. I know I probably didn't say that right. I know someone trying to go back into the org in order to have a relation with his family, especially his nieces. Yeah, it's sad. Wow. Wow, your grandkids are 25 years old and you never seen them? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's really sad. It's really, really sad. Like I couldn't imagine. And you know what's so interesting? I've never really heard of anybody, like people who even kind of grew up and was raised in it, that didn't really like mess with their, just their biological family, like that wasn't witnesses. But when that witness kid woke up and started to reach out to the family that wasn't witnesses, they always tend to embrace them. Like in my case, when I was like, yeah, I'm done, my family was jumping for joy. But even before I said I'm done, my family still was my family. Like they still uh, dealt with me. Nothing was different. They still wanted me to come to birthdays and come over for Christmas and Thanksgiving, kind of thing. So it's really sad how much control the organization has over people. Oh, I know. I couldn't either. I couldn't either. Speaking of sitting through a meeting, um, I like after I had gotten married, probably had been married about a year, and I think it was around the time I started watching like those the Scientology with Leah Remedy, and one of the people who texted me for the memorial had reached out to me and was saying that they are having whatever it was, a special day or circuit assembly or whatever. And so my husband was kind of eavesdropping and he was listening. He said, I want to go. And I got scared at first. I'm like, well, why you want to go? And he said, because I just want to see. I just want to see for myself, like, what is going on. And it wasn't too far from where we live. So we did go. Matter of fact, I think it was a 2 day now that I think about it. But we only, was like, we'll go to one day. We got there and I was sitting there. Now I'm fully woke and I'm sitting there and just to listen to it, it's like, how did I ever allow myself to think that anything that they saying right now makes sense? And so I remember at one point, me and my husband just looked at each other and it took all our strength not to like bust out laughing. And that was like the last time that I had had attended. And that, like I say, I don't even think that was our first year of being married that we went. Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't. Now I did attend a few Zoom funerals and things like that, out of respect for the people who had passed during the pandemic and things of that nature. I probably could go if uh, to a funeral, maybe, you know what I'm saying, because out of respect, for the person, but like just to go, nah, I'm not interested. Not interested. Just like they used to say to me about going into a church. Well, if you know the what did they say? If you know the church is like on fire, would you go in there or some crap they used to say? And it's like, well, that's how I feel about the Kingdom Hall. When you know the truth about something, it's hard to just sit there and pretend. It's just like if you got a coworker or just somebody you thought was your friend, and you find out they talking mad trash about you. It's gonna be hard to pretend in their face, right? Because it's like, well, I know what you said. That's how it would be. Recently, I tried to attend the last talk before the baptism to watch my niece get baptized, and I couldn't sit through it. I had to get up and walk around outside. I know that's right. I know that's right. Oh, yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I could not. Um, I'm just trying to see if it was any what else that I had on my notes. Um, and to make sure this thing don't freeze up on me. The other day it was kind of acting a little janky. I don't know if it was I don't know. You know how this technology is. So anyhow, so those were my wins. Um, Talked about the recent videos. They seem to have done well and touched the point. Um, these people, the construction people, should be done tomorrow. Hallelujah! And I'm like so excited because I've been, this has really invigorated me to like get my system and be consistent with, content on top of other things that I got going on. I haven't exercised. I've barely been juicing, drinking my juice like I should. So it's nothing like getting your environment in order. Um, so, anywho, what are you? Have you all been watching on TV or Netflix? I recently watched the second season of Survival of the Thickest. I love that show. I can't wait till season 3 comes out. And I watched the documentary. I forget what it was called. I think it was called Kid Influencer, and it was basically about I didn't know that this was a big thing on YouTube. I don't know if it still is or once was, but like kid influencers and how these parents, it's like the same thing that you used to hear of back in the day with kid stars and their parents, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. Like these kids on YouTube were making anywhere from like 30 to 300,000 a month. And the parents now that was feel like they were taken advantage of and all that stuff, now of course they spilling their guts in this Netflix documentary. But me and my clients that were watching it, we were just like, you're doing all this crying now, but it's like, well, why did you not stop? Why did you not pull your kid during that time? And of course it was the money. Your kid is on YouTube getting millions of views. Are we still good, y'all? Can y'all give me a one? I want to make sure y'all not freezing on the other end. I hate when this happens. Oh, thank you. All right. Cause I'm like, ugh, okay. Um, yeah, the kids was making, 30, 40, 50. One girl, like the main influencer, they were making like anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 a month, not in a year, a month. Yeah. Them parents was turning a blind eye. They crying wolf now, but they was making a lot of money. So I watched that. I love I love like true crime and culty stuff. No, no wonder. Well, I really love it now because it makes me think, like, can I relate to the person? Because it's easy to sit back and be like, oh, like with Jonestown. Yeah, I don't think I would have been going over to wherever they had went. I think in South America, drinking the Kool-Aid and all this stuff. I don't think that would have happened. But then it's like at the same time, I would have never thought that would have ended up in a cult. It's just not as culty, I was when I was juicing last night. I was watching. The channel's called Cult to Consciousness. She's an ex-Mormon, the one whose channel it is, Celeste, I think that's her name. And initially, it was just pretty much ex-Mormon telling their story and stuff like that. But now she do all these other things. Like I didn't know that, you know, people leaving Islam and kind of sharing the experience with that, and how I guess certain sects of that can be kind of high control. Of course, the Mormon. And with the Mormon, I was like, it's a lot of connection in regards to the Jehovah Witnesses. The one thing that the interview last night brought out that's different is whereas Jehovah Witnesses don't value education outside of, what they want you to know. Excuse me, y'all. The Mormon advocate for it. They want you to go. Like Brigham Young, they got their own university, right? They want you to go. They want you to get educated. They push entrepreneurship and, career advancement because they want you to, bring that money into the church. So that was one thing that I learned that was a little bit different. Which I knew they wasn't anti-education, but the way the lady brung it up, I was like, oh, it's totally different than Witnesses. Um, you say, yeah, I like watching older shows. Last year I watched all the episodes of Columbo. Now I'm watching Twilight Zone. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of people like to go back to the good old days of television and things of that nature. Yeah, I was just thinking. I was driving back from the city, and what song came on? I don't know. It was a love song. I think it was Donnell Jones, and just listening to the lyrics, and he's just like, oh girl, I love you. Let me show you. Just a real, true modern day R&B love song. And I was like, do these teenagers and kids in their early 20s, do they have anybody singing that? Because everything's so ratchet and raw and rough. Um, so it does feel good to kind of go back to a more simpler time. So I could definitely understand that. Definitely understand that. So let's see. Mormon are even friendlier than Witnesses. You think so? How so? How so? If y'all didn't see it. Oh, you were invited to dinners and events. But do you think that they were inviting you with the um like intention to get you to convert, or just open arms, like, hey, you're a cool person, come vibe out with us? Oh, okay. They would treat me to things and call me to see if I am okay. They didn't try to convert me. That's good. I think that realistically, if you just, for lack of a better word, just a regular cool person and people don't have intentions, you can probably vibe out with anybody. Like, um, it's something that Jewish people do. I can't. Is it called Shabbat? Is that what it's called? But I seen it on a TV program, and I think they do it on Friday. It's like I think they do it every week. I can't remember, but they had invited some of their non-Jewish friends. They weren't trying to convert them or whatever. And the premise of the meal was just, I thought was really dope. Like, it's just like a gratitude meal, and and a time to come together. And I thought that was beautiful. Um, and I think it's good when you have people of different backgrounds, cultures, maybe religious thoughts, just whatever. And they just coming together in just a good human way. Let's see. Only the ones preaching in the streets tried to convert. That's because they doing a mission. I think that's why. You know, and the interview that I watched yesterday, it made it sound like even females do missions. I thought only the guys did the missions, but maybe females do them too. Oh, Shabbat is Saturday, the holy day. Okay. Hi, Eastad. So, but am I correct? Shabbat is just like um a time for family to come together and, like, break bread and eat together, right? And they do it every week, ideally, right? That's the goal. Yeah, he was doing a mission. Yeah, the ones doing a mission, you know, and it's interesting though, 'cause I remember this. I'm a sports fan, clearly, right? Um, but I don't know if you all remember Sean Bradley, super tall. I think he was like 7'5", and he was a Mormon. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he had got drafted to the NBA, but I don't think he was gonna start right away because he had already committed to doing his mission. But I think the church gave him permission to delay it. But I think he did eventually end up going and doing a mission. I can't remember the significance of the mission, but it's like if they go do the mission and get through that, I think it gives them a little bit of a more elevated status, more desirable. Kind of like how Jehovah's Witnesses, how my buddy Isaac, Tune Up Your Mind. I think that's Isaac's page. Oh Lord, I gotta remember the name of my buddy's page. But like how he was saying that, when he was, interested in, looking at someone to date, with the intentions of getting married, they was telling them sisters like, well, he ain't this, he ain't that, this and that. So I don't know if they necessarily do that with the Mormons, but I do think if you do the mission, it kind of puts you in a little bit of a more elevated, more desirable status. But from my understanding, after you do the mission, you kind of you good, like you done what you. Oh, okay. Yeah, he was 7'5". But but if he was a Jehovah's Witness, it would have been all kind of controversy if he had decided to go, to the NBA. So uh my best friend is a 49ers fan. That's his team. I gotta rock with the home team. If I had to say I had a second favorite team right now, it's definitely Detroit Lions. Like in the last 3 years, I really have been proud of Detroit. And then they had got Montgomery from the Bears, and I really like Montgomery. And then I would say I this year I was a Steelers, you know, sideline, kind of fan because of Justin Fields. I feel like the Bears really messed up by trading him. I love Justin Fields. So I guess I'll be watching the Jets. I haven't really watched the Jets since like what's Keyshawn last name? Lord, I can't even think of Keyshawn last name. But since Keyshawn played for them. So, you know. So I can't wait for football to come back. I used to think it'll never be a time where football would take my interest more than basketball. But the NBA is just not what it used to be. It's just not what it used to be. Oh, okay. Thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate that. Keyshawn Johnson. Lord, forgive me, because I used to love him. Yo, Keyshawn Johnson. hmm I haven't watched the Jets since then. So I can't wait for football season. I'm gonna definitely be watching the Jets so I can watch my guy. And hopefully this, Williams guy will get it together. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I love Justin Fields. So we'll see. Um, but yeah, anybody have any plans for the weekend? I have right now. I don't have any new patients scheduled Saturday. I don't have any sister lock clients. I don't do sister locks on Saturday. I need some time to be away. and and Sunday I don't have no clients. So um we're gonna be spending our Easter resurrection weekend cleaning up from the dust of the bathroom renovation. Exactly, man. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. When I tell you I was hurt, I was hurt. I was hurt because I was like, it had been a long time to be this excited, about even when we would, lose. Because I'm like, this guy is so solid. I wasn't hurt. The last time I felt that kind of pain is when the Bulls traded Derrick Rose to New York. I was like, oh Lord, I was sick. All my people, all my guys, they was calling and like, you all right when Derrick Rose got traded? I was sick. And I was like, okay, I got to do something. I am too emotionally caught up in these sports teams. They traded him. They not gonna nurture him. They traded him to the Jets. I mean, I like Russell Wilson as well, but I just feel like they could have let Justin play a few more of those games, you know? Oh, okay. Pistons. This is like I still got resentment with the Pistons, from back in the 90s. They used to give MJ and them, They traded him. Yep. They traded him. But the good thing is he'll be starting. He needs to start. He don't need to be second fiddle. He's too good for that. And he needs somebody who, okay with him running. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Man, but that's when it was good. That's when it was good though, man, because it's hard for me to watch a game now. It really is. I watch it in bits and pieces. Some of my buddies who still kind of watch religious, and then they didn't made it so difficult. I got Hulu Live. I got rid of like regular cable, so it's like it's so hard to just get the regular Bulls games like we used to, Um, but it's just so much flopping. Everybody want to shoot threes from half court, with 9 minutes still left in the game. It just be too much. Yeah, I was in high school in the 90s too. I graduated from high school in 93. So, yep. So yeah. Is this your first time over here on the channel? I feel like I've seen this name before. This the thing you be having to wait for y'all to type. Yeah. Yeah, WNBA is definitely more exciting these days. Um, so I will watch that. I will watch that. But the NBA, not so much. Not until you get into the playoffs. I like Boston. The Bulls started trying to get it together towards the end. They had some, exciting games. Um, I think that's about it. I will watch Boston, and usually that's who I'll root for, like playoff wise. Oh, okay, it's your first time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I graduated in 93 as well, and I turned 50 in January. I turned 50 in January. Yep. So I'm glad that you came on over to the channel. So can I ask you, because I'm still fairly new with YouTube. It's only been about 6.5 months since I started the channel. How did you like, what made you come into this live if you're not like a subscriber, or like the YouTube send something out to you? I'm just trying to learn. Seeing how this your first time to the channel. I see we got 6 other people in here. Y'all can chime in at any time. I know we talking about sports. That might not be your thing, but you can share what plans you got for the weekend if you have any. I have not gone this long without braiding up my hair, y'all. I feel like Terrence Trent D'Arby. If you old as me, then you should know who that is. I'm like, oh my God. And it's then grew back. I got it cut and it's growing back already. I think I might try some pin curls. I mean, not pin curls. What do they call them? Pipe cleaners. So I might put a video together because I know some people are here on the channel because of my sister love journey. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I'm glad my face looked appealing because right now all I see is these allergy eyes. I had to take me a nap after driving from the city home, and then it was raining. I'm like, ugh. But I was like, okay, I got to get up because I got to go live and talk to my people. That's what I feel like. I normally braid it and it has more of a crinkle to it. So it's just like a black mop right now. But I think I'm going to end up combing my locks out and maybe get bigger, traditional, more locks. But that's not going to be until the end of the year. I was going to do it this summer, but I got too many things going on and it's going to be a process. Well, East Dad, um, my channel, I do content around, being a Gen Xer. I'm definitely going to put more up content related to that. So you probably could relate to that. But a good chunk of my early content, like I say, in the last 6.5 months, has been around Jehovah Witnesses and my experience. I once was one. I wasn't born one. I wasn't raised as one. So it's an interesting story about how I basically got lured in, as an adult and how I woke up and left. And so I do, content around that, being a Gen Xer, people with a sister log journey, and things of that nature. So some stuff might interest you, like the lives or whatever. So if you ever consider dropping dropping me a sub, I would greatly appreciate it. So okay, you a gamer. So you play the game live. Is that how that go? I never quite understood that. I knew that what's that guy name? Twitch? No, not Twitch. Is that the platform? I know it's supposed to be some young man, and I think he a gamer, and he like then became a millionaire from doing it. Oh, okay, you already subscribed. All right, I appreciate it. Um, so it's like you playing the game and talking. Is that how it go? Because my brother, he like 11 years younger than me, so I know he be having the things on his ear and he playing the game. So what you're doing is you doing that, but you're showing it, I guess, on your channel. Is that how it go? Like you playing against people? I play games, but I don't play like the shoot 'em up games and stuff like that. I play the games on my phone, puzzle games, Candy Crush and stuff like that. I keep trying to tell my brother that's something he can do. They don't they let gaming they let gaming channels get monetized. I would guess so, long as they getting the views, right? It's something he should consider because he loved playing the game. Okay. So like the kind of bang bang type games, right? Or like zombie type games. Yeah, well my brother, he'll be 40, so he ain't no kid. I was just trying to figure it out so I could tell him like, hey, did you know that you can, have a YouTube channel and do your gaming live? You know. I think YouTube is awesome. Like I tell people all the time when I go live, is that like a zombie type game? I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. Like I never watched what is it? What was the one zombie game that show that everybody loved? Walking Dead. I never got into it. That's what that sounds like. Resident Evil Dead by Daylight. That sounds like some zombie type game. But well, hopefully you can get back into it. Yeah, zombies. Well, hopefully you can get back into it. I don't know if it has like its season. Um, a guy that I watch who he's from Detroit, Syndicate Media. He has another channel that he talks about like the Detroit Lions and things of that nature. So of course it's dry right now because football season ain't in. They ain't had the draft yet and stuff like that. So he's spending more time on his syndicate media channel. So I don't know if gaming is a, kind of seasonal thing. Like, I don't know, is it kind of based around when, new games come out or get into difficult levels? Like, what's the strategy with gaming in regards to like the YouTube space? Truth Seeker from NY. How you doing? Thanks for coming on in, saying hi to your girl. Me and East Day are just sitting up here talking about YouTube and gaming and things of that nature. Oh, okay, you do it all year round. Okay. Well, I learn something new every day. Learn something new every day. Speaking of learning, when I get off this live, I have to register for a course that I'm taking. It's functional medicine, but specifically dealing with gut health and how, I'll be learning how to do a special kind of test that analyzes the gut. And from there, I will be able to help pinpoint like the root causes of stuff, like why people are, struggling to lose weight or fatigue or this and that, and being able to recommend certain supplements. And then in some cases, we may have to, prescribe medication. But I'm excited about learning how to do that. I'm about to start rolling out DNA. And the DNA company that I'm partnered with, they actually offer like a wellness DNA where they take your DNA and analyze it to determine, what are the best exercises and foods for you based on your DNA in regards to like weight loss, weight management, just overall wellness. So I'm really excited because this is going to be, a more, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but this is going to be a bigger taking on, like people who really want to do like a for real transformation. Not saying that the patients that I have now that I see that they don't want to, but this will be on a grander scale. That's the better way to say it. TW in the house. All right, let's go back because I saw this thing moving. All right, Truth Seeker said, good in you. I wanted to say that the way you tell your life story is very refreshing. Oh, thank you. CW just got home. Hello, all. The microbiome. Yes. Yes. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a nurse practitioner. I had somebody who said to me, well, you almost a doctor. We was at a facial party, and the person who was doing the facial, was saying, put the mask on your hand first, make sure it's no allergic reaction. And this woman that was there, she's like, well, she almost a doctor. I was like, oh no, not almost a doctor. It's hard out here in these nurse practitioner streets. You got MDs, that hate on you, and then you got other people who try to put you down. But, if something go down, you're going to be glad I'm there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I enjoy being a nurse practitioner. I have no regrets, For those who know or don't know, I used to be a teacher, and I, at 40, graduated from nursing school. And what year did I become a nurse practitioner? 2020? Yeah, 2020. The pandemic. How could I forget that? So it's been almost 5 years. Almost 5 years. Yeah, because I passed boards in December. So it's been 4 years and some change. And in 4.5 years, 3 of them I have on my own clinic. So that is what I'm talking about. All right, East Dead. It's been a good time chatting with you. I learned something about this gaming and streaming. Don't work too hard. All right. Hi, Anita. Oh, you in MP school? Um, Are you getting F&P? Are you doing mental health? What track are you doing? Since we got people coming in a little late, I'll just recap a little bit. We had started with wins, so if you have any wins, please share them. So I was saying that before I had went live today, I had hit 780 subs. Y'all know I like to call y'all real ones tribe, and how just exciting that is. Not because it gets me closer to opening up the full monetization program, but it lets me know that what I'm putting out there is being received, and that feels good. And it's helping people because I'm telling you, sometimes these comments are like heartbreaking, and people so appreciative for feeling, validated that what they were thinking or experiencing or feeling is valid. So I'm excited about that. Oh, and I got a continuation on this stupid house drama for this house that I haven't owned in over 10 years. So I found a city attorney down at the city. She was nice enough to give me a 5-month extension. So if y'all know any good attorneys that's well versed in mortgage, bank, real estate, I guess those areas, you know, inbox me on Instagram with their information, and they work in the Chicagoland area because I got to get this house uh, out of my life for good, one way or another. You said, for the record, I have missed the memorial for the past 35 years. But here's the real question: not did you just miss it? Have you gotten an invitation all 35 years, or do they leave you alone now? Oh, okay, you doing adult geriatric. Okay. Okay. All right. How long have you been a nurse, Anita? And how much longer do you have in NP school? Oh, yeah, you've been a nurse a long time. What are you okay, 3 semesters? I know you can't wait. What's your plan? Like, you do want to do outpatient? You want to be a hospitalist, or what's your hope? And what do you envision once you finish? I was telling my mom, I have 4 degrees, two, one in communication, one in education, and then the two in nursing. And so I'm like, I don't want to go back to nobody's school. But I was like, if this current federal administration start tripping with the student loans and don't want to work with you and, give you a smaller payment, versus the standard payment, I said, I'll be right over here at the community college getting associates in something. Cause I can't get them. I can't get them no mortgage payment. I can't do it. Okay, inpatient. I want to work in hematology, oncology. Okay, yeah. Is that where you spent most of your nursing career in that specialty? I kind of jumped around as a nurse, and I definitely wasn't have not been a nurse as long as you. Oh, most cardiac ICU. You know what's so funny? My patients that are nurses, uh, they're either all ICU nurses or they OR nurses. Like, I don't have nobody who do like mother baby, labor and delivery, med surge. They either all ICU or OR. It's so interesting. But maybe that's because they're kind of getting referred from that initial person. Maybe that's why. They pretty much are like, my nurses are all kind of connected for the most part. Nurses at my clinic. Cardiac ICU. The cardiac ICU nurses that took care of my mom when she had her open heart surgery a year ago, they were great. They were great. And I'm so terrible. I know I got them papers somewhere. I know they're gonna be like, ma'am, it's been over a year and you just not sending this Daisy Award in nomination. I'm still gonna send it in. But I just gotta remember what bag is in. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, when this bathroom is done tomorrow, they should be absolutely done tomorrow. They just gotta put the baseboards down and then they gotta, clean up afterwards. They got the light in, the vanity, all the stuff, the toilet, everything. I'm about to be on such habit systems mode. Y'all know I'm reading Atomic Habits, and that book got me just fired up to get my life together. Um, I'm gonna be a well-oiled machine. Who? What if who not there no more? Oh, the nurses. I just realized what you were saying. I don't know. I think they still there. I could call first. Yeah. I just realized when you said, what if they not there? No, they there. It's Indiana. I don't think they going nowhere. Now one of them, she was a little shaky. I could see her maybe getting dismissed. But them other ones, they was OGs. They had been there for a while. Them people be there forever. Uh, it's different. But I will call. I'll call before. Yeah. It last year was so rough. Last year was so rough. Like I said, we just celebrated 1 year since she had the surgery. It was April 9th. So me and my brother drove down to where she lived in Indiana and surprised her. We got her good. I thought he had told her, to be honest. And then I thought, okay, he didn't confess in the car that he had said, had told her. So then I was like, I kept asking her because she goes to water aerobics on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I just kept asking these questions like, okay, so what day is this appointment, that appointment? So I thought she probably was thinking like they must be trying to, come down here. But she had no clue. So went down there, we had a good time. So it's been a busy, busy couple of weeks. So we just keep pushing through. Oh, okay. Oh boy. You know what? That's how I got into YouTube. When I would be logging my patient information for clinicals, I would find a good long YouTube video and I would just put it on um like a podcast. And I used to watch a lot of uh XJW stories, like people telling their stories and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that made logging all that patient info go by. And I was like, oh, this is why people listen to podcasts. Oh yeah, what you cooking? What you cooking, TW? I'm assuming you saying you just kind of listening versus putting stuff in the chat, which is understandable. Since I was in the city, I went to one of my favorite taco places. It's called Carbone's over on 26th Street. They have really good fish tacos, and they elote usually be so good, but this is the second time I've gotten elote and it was not good. Like not good at all. And I'm like, it looked like how it normally be. I'm like, why? What is missing? Like, who is cooking this now? So I ain't gonna be able to order that no more. And I probably give it a break. Like when stuff don't get right, I'll be like, all right, let me give it a break. But I don't go to the city that often. So sometimes I'd be like, ooh wee. So that's what we had for dinner today was fish tacos. Yeah. So talked about my wins. was asking people what are they watching. I was saying how I watched. I'm waiting on season 3 now of Survival of the Thickest. I love that show. And they had a 3-part documentary about these kid influencers from YouTube, and it was a trip. I mean, it's people on here making crazy money. I don't know if they still, if people still making money like that, but yeah, these kids was making anywhere from like 30 to 500,000 a month. And so now you have these parents of the kids that got, you know, whatever, kicked out of the group or whatever the case may be. So they kind of spilling all the tea, and me and my clients is sitting here like, why y'all didn't leave, when this happened, or why y'all didn't leave when that happened? I'm like, cause they kid was making $30,000 a month. That's a lot of money. So yeah, sometimes you have to be you gotta, try to make sure that your integrity stay intact. You know what I'm saying? Don't let the money drive you crazy. Broccoli rice with cheese sauce. No, I'm not vegan. Well, you didn't say vegan cheese sauce, so I kind of figured that. Um, okay. Anita's win this week is improvement in writing my HPI note. Oh, I know the struggle. I know the struggle. It was like NP school was easier I guess for me than actually nursing school, because I had, some type of foundation to build upon. And then because I had worked in uh, an outpatient situation. So I feel like my classmates that only had like bedside, uh, they struggle a little bit, because especially like the ICU ones or the ER, like it'll be like, what test should be ordered? And they going right up here, when it's like, no, you want to start with this first. But because I had worked in like a women's health / primary care, a lot of stuff, kind of came easy for me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm But it'll get easier. It'll start clicking. It'll start clicking. But what else? Some of you all might have missed. I was just talking about, you know, the reason I was able to get so many subs basically in less about a week is because my 2 memorial videos seemed to have done well and was really getting pushed out. And then I had made some shorts from that, and so those was getting pushed out too. So it was just the timeliness of it, right? People probably either went to the memorial and probably had questions, like, why my family make such a big deal about this memorial, and getting on YouTube or whatever. And they found the channel. So either way, I'm still grateful. Um, but that's pretty much all I got. Um, my weekend is getting my life together. I think I'm going to make, I don't know, I got a taste for some greens. So I do use like smoked turkey tail in my greens. So I think I'm gonna do, and I'd be cheating. I used to get like the fresh organic collard greens, but one year I end up getting the Glory. It's called Southern Blend. So it's like the 3 collard, mustard, and turnip, and I love them now. You know, so I'm gonna probably get that. I got a taste for short ribs. My husband don't really eat beef. He may have some Jamaican oxtails once a year, just because he's Jamaican. But so I rarely will cook beef. But when we eat out, I usually order beef, because I'm like, I ain't about to cook two meats. But I think I'm gonna make me some short ribs, and he can make him some salmon. He's a big salmon, fish, chicken person. Um, and maybe, I don't know, some sweet potatoes or something. Nothing too heavy. a little lightweight soul food, I guess. Hmm. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I love smoked turkey tail. I put it in my beans when I make beans. I couldn't tell you the last time I had like um like a ham hock or something like that. At least, I mean, well, my grandmamas are deceased now, but I want to say towards the later part of my grandma's life, I want to say I think she has switched over to using turkey tails versus ham hocks and beans and greens and things of that nature. Um, but yeah, so but that's all that we was chit chatting about today. Um, be look on the outlook. I can't even talk. Be on the lookout for content coming. I definitely am. Proud of myself. I feel like I've been way more consistent these last few weeks than I had been. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, you don't eat pork. You know what? It's not that I'm like against pork. I don't cook it, but every now and again, I might get some bacon on a burger or something like that. I know one time we went to this place called Perry Steakhouse, and I don't know what possessed me to get the pork chop because I'm just thinking it's just gonna be the chop, but it was the full like it was like the chop, the rib, the loin, the it was like, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I need no more pork for the rest of my life after that. Okay, TW said, T, I never had family members in the JWs. Therefore, no invites from me. Okay, if I did get an invite, I would just say thanks, but no thanks. That's basically what I said too. You know. Hi, Denise. Denisha, you said so. I don't know what you responding to. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that, Anita. People say that pork give them a headache. I um I haven't read it all the way. I just kind of skimmed through, but it's a book. Lord, it's a book based on like how you should eat for your blood type, and I do believe it's some credence to it because for my blood type, it talked about that animal protein was best for my body, and I've done vegan challenges and juice challenges and all this stuff. And when I don't have like some meat, I could feel the difference. But the minute I eat that meat, I feel like 100% better. And so I was like, okay, it might be something to this. But it also said that I shouldn't eat, I think, catfish. But this soul food place that we go to, I always get the catfish. I don't necessarily have no problems that I could think of, but um, that's what the book said. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that book. Um, And I want to say, I think it might have said I shouldn't eat pork. I need to go back and read that book all the way through just to see. But one of my girlfriends, that's the one who had introduced it to me. I had heard about eating according to your blood type, but she introduced me to the book, and based on her blood type, it says she shouldn't eat chicken, and she stopped eating chicken, and then she went to go eat chicken like, oh, I could have a wing or two or whatever, and she was so deathly ill, and it wasn't like food poisoning, you know what I'm saying? And so she just was, kind of dismissed it or whatever, and then uh she ate the chicken again, and so she was like, okay, it's definitely something to this. So she don't eat chicken now, and she feels just fine. So it could be some credence to that. All right, let's see what we missed. Um, TW said was vegan for 6 years. To this day, I hate the smell of hamburger meat when making a hamburger at home. Reprogramming. So, but do you eat hamburger meat or no? Or I bet that book will tell me I can't eat anything I love. As I get older, I can no longer tolerate hot dogs. Dogs don't agree with me. Oh, I could believe that. At, this is what I know. At 50 years old, it's a lot of stuff that I cannot eat. You know, I cannot eat. Mm-mm. Um, it just don't sit well. Like even if I don't feel sick, I don't know. It's just like it don't digest right. You know, it's just like if I don't drink a juice. If I go more than maybe 2 days, now that I'm back juicing, if I go more than 2 days without drinking at least one juice, I feel it. I feel a difference. So I don't know if it's that boost of nutrients from the juice. You know, this was spinach, mint, apple, lemon, ginger. I was telling them earlier that I had bought some mint. I don't know if I'm crazy about mint juice, putting it in the juice, but because I have it, I'm going to use it. But I don't know if it's something I would use after I'm done with what I bought. It's okay, but it ain't doing nothing for me. Wait, I missed something. Let me see. Uh-huh. No hot dog, no hamburgers. It's because that is not food. Yes, processed. I do, but hardly ever cook hamburger. I don't ever buy fast food. That's great. You never know what they're putting in their meat. That's true. That is true. That is true. For the most part, and you know what's so crazy? Um, I used to be like, gotta have chicken breast, gotta have chicken breast, gotta have chicken breast, like when I was cooking. And then few years ago, I started using the skinless chicken thighs, and now you can't get me to use chicken breast because it just gets so dry, you know. And and it seemed like it irritates my stomach a little bit. I don't know if it's because it's so dry, so maybe it's more of a mental thing. But yeah, it's amazing how as you get older, your body will tell you what it's gonna tolerate and what it's not. You know. If I look a little crazy, y'all, it's because my allergies is bad. I didn't have no more Zyrtec, and I got Benadryl, but it made me sleepy, so I'm trying to wait to take that until I go to bed. So my eyes look a little glossy and crazy. That's why it's a lot of kind of dust in the air from the bathroom being remodeled. So let's see. You never, you never know. Yeah. The chicken from the yard tastes so much different than the chicken from the grocery store. I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that. Like people who, who raise their own chickens and slaughter them, there and then fry them. They say it's like night and day. Yeah, the chicken breast, yeah, it's definitely tougher. Like I said, it might be more in my head. But you know what makes me wonder is like, okay, how is it? What am I doing wrong? Because I guess I want to make sure it's cooked, right? But what am I doing wrong? Because like sometimes we'll go to Wildfire and they have like a lemon pepper chicken breast and it be juicy. It be juicy. And it's like, well, how they getting there so juicy? But mine be like low key dry. If I don't, have it sauteed in something. This little juice wasn't too bad. I didn't put as much mint in it. Earlier this week, I made what was it? Pineapple, cucumber, lemon, ginger, and mint, and that wasn't too bad. All right, let's see what it say. See, the healthcare industry is so focused on profit. I wonder if there is a conflict of interest going on. What do you mean? Between who and who? like insurance companies and things of that nature. Because like right now with the weight loss medications, so at my clinic, I do prescribe compounding. I work with a reputable compounding pharmacy. My patients have done really well. I have patients who have lost, in some cases, almost 70 pounds. It's been a life, a lifesaver, a game changer for them, right? They health it has improved all the way around. But now the big pharma is coming down on the compounding pharmacy, and so now those won't be available like they once was. But then the big pharma is saying, but hey, we'll still make it to where you can get it, basically like how you've been getting it, but we're gonna charge you more. You know, compounding pharmacies make it affordable. You know, it's the markup from big pharma. So it's crazy how, and I get people who come to me all the time like, "What, my insurance won't cover this?" Blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but they okay. I have 3 patients who have come to me, um, because they were pushing bariatric gastric sleeve surgery, and the patient was like, "I don't want to do that. Like, why won't they approve me for the medication and help me lose it that way without cutting on me or whatever?" And it's just, it's crazy. Oh yeah, I definitely think big pharma and in cahoots. That's why you got so many MDs that you know don't like MPs. They trying to like just put salt on our name, on our title, on our skill set, things of that nature. They just yeah, they get a whole different kind of education than we do, as nurse practitioners. That is true. But I don't think most nurse practitioners are trying to do everything that the MD do. But it's like, still respect us, still respect us, because they get good reimbursement for us seeing the patients, but they don't like to pay. You know. Let's see. Of course it is, but what can we do? Yeah, we all know how the opioid crisis started. Absolutely, absolutely. FDA said, okay, yeah, it's not addictive, and it's crazy. They don't really care. Hey, Billy, you always make it towards the end. I've been on here since 7. What time is it? About 8:20. Cause look like I've been on here about an hour and 20 minutes. Yep. We just talk about some of everything, Billy. We had talked about, I was sharing my wins. TW and Anita were talking about health and food and insurance and healthcare and things of that nature. So um, that's about it. Was talking about how I have, before I got on, I had a 780 subs. So excited about that. How's your day going? You got any wins this week that you like to share with us? I should have brought me some water down here too. Okay. I always put it back up like a replay. Oh, it's been going so fast. Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. And in the Chicagoland area, I think it's supposed to be actually pretty nice until about 8 o'clock. Then I think they're talking about some rain. I'm kind of sick of the rain too. I'm just ready for it to get warm. I used to be a fall girl. I used to kind of like spring too. But now I'm a summer girl. Not that I want to be outside, but it's just something nice about knowing that when you do go outside, it's warm, you know? Okay. Same for me, TW. Once this bathroom is all done tomorrow, I said next week, because this weekend we're gonna, dust and clean everything back up. I said it's back on because my poor little thighs then got mushy again. It don't take long. You fall off 2 3 weeks. Them little tones and them little muscles just be just as mushy. Yeah, and to kick in and stay, Billy. Kick in and stay. We had that what almost 80 degree about 3 weeks ago. That Friday, and we all was thinking, "Ooh, it's gonna be nice." It's just a better energy. It's just a better energy when it's warm. That's why sometimes I'll be like, "How do people like where it's kind of warm or nice all the time? Like, how can you be upset? It's nice. It's nice outside, you know." So yeah, I'm ready. But yeah, that's my plan too. Um, and also, well, I'm launching for my clinic. We're launching. We're doing our first drop of meal plans, and so I'll be like taking a recipe from each one to kind of show what it would look like in regards to like advertising. So I plan to be more intentional with the meal prepping or meal planning because I'll be doing that to showcase those meal plans. So that um, I gotta get back on my protein because I have lately just been drinking coffee because I'm like that's all I can kind of do because once the guys get here the way the kitchen set up I don't be wanting to cook because it's like dust in the air, so I'm just drinking my coffee and being secluded in my room. Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was. I was responding to what you had said, Billy, about when you lived on the West Coast. CW said, our body yells at us when we don't exercise. I must listen to my body more often. Absolutely. I feel the difference. I feel the difference when I fall off with the exercising, doing more than just walking. Like I take the dogs on a walk most days. Sometimes it's 25, 30 minutes, sometimes it's 10, 15. So, I'm moving around, but it's not the same. I also have this thing called Heat Healer. It's like a sauna detox sleeping bag kind of like thing. But oh my goodness, it just melts my muscles and I sleep so well and I just feel so energized like the next morning, and I haven't been doing that. So I'm all in with I got that right here that I'm locking in. That was something I wanted to share, just locking in with exercise, nutrition, just all the things. I feel the Atomic Habits book has really helped me because I have been making progress, especially like with decluttering, organizing, things of that nature in the house. And so I'm ready now, I'm ready to implement it in regards to, wellness and health as well. Let's see. TW said the other day my body said, what the hell are we doing? So I don't take insurance. I am cash based. So my programs are very affordable compared to other practices doing something similar in the area. Um, so my signature program right now is 350. So when the patient comes in, they can pay cash via Zelle. They can do debit or credit. I also have payment plan options through Cherry and Vagaro. I also can take HSA or FSA cards if they have those, long as they have a Visa, Mastercard, or something logo on them. And so the way the program is set up, that will cover them for 2 months at least in regards to medication and everything. But I don't fool with the insurance. When I was in my last rotation for NP school, the doctor I was working with, we became, real close. I consider her like a godmom, like an aunt. And she's actually my collaborating physician. So here in Illinois, when you don't have your full practice authority, you can still have a clinic, you can still have a practice, but you need to have a collaborating physician on you need to have an agreement just on file with Illinois. So they don't have to see patients or anything like that. You just confer with them from time to time about, patients. And so she really gave me some insight into what it took to really run a practice. And when I would see some of those checks, reimbursement checks for insurance, I was like, this is pennies, And so she was like, when I first was like, hey, I think I'm gonna open up my own thing. And so I reached out to her and I was telling her, and she's like, that's so smart. And she actually ended up closing her private practice. So she does part-time at a what is it called? Methadone. Yeah, is it methadone? Why am I drawing blanks? Yeah, methadone, right? Ain't that what it's called? Clinic and like a community clinic. Cause she was like, I'm getting reimbursement, $2-3. So I was like, yeah, I don't ever want to use insurance. That's why it's a numbers game. That's why when you go to the doctor, you only really seeing the doctor or even the nurse practitioner if you're a new patient. I think a lot of them will allocate at least 20 minutes, but most of those visits are supposed to only be like 10-15 minutes because it's a numbers game. They're trying to get as many people seen that day because the reimbursement sucks. All right, let me see what I missed. Uh, yep. Hello, Neha. I'm from the Chicagoland area. All right, good night, Billy. See you later. So Billy is my friend in real life, and so she been, I guess, getting the notifications later on Thursday. So that's why I was teasing her a little bit about coming at the end because she came towards the end last week. So that's my buddy. She had a birthday not too long ago. I think it was this week. So anywho, well, guys, um, like always, I had a blast. Like I say, this weekend, be on the lookout for some content. Might be, I don't know if the word palate cleanser, may not be necessarily JW in nature, but it nonetheless to be good, especially if you are someone in their 40s or 50s who's been thinking about maybe starting a YouTube channel, and telling your story, whether it's JW or just anything that you've been through. Because I do want to almost do like a follow up, because I did my very first video, and then I did a video about like my first month on YouTube. So I think it's time to follow up because I know so much more now. I ain't no pro, but I know so much more now. So I want to encourage other people, that like me in their 50s with a story, and some value to add. Let's see. More people than we think have a phobia about going to the doctor. At least this is true for males like me. Oh, absolutely. I got people in my family right now that I don't want to say I have given up, but I have taken a step back from beating them over the head about it. And yeah, it's the men in my family. that no matter how much I preach to them, that you need to be proactive and not reactive. So, and I did a video on this for Gen Xers. Like, if we just do like 6 basic things. One, have an annual doctor's visit, right? Make sure you establish with a doctor. You know, after a certain age, you need to be established. I didn't get my own doctor till I was maybe in my early mid 30s. I was just going to my mama's doctor when I needed like a physical or something like that. Shout out to Dr. Holstein if he's still on this side of the living. He was such a great doctor. My mom cried when he retired. Like he was, you know, still he was here in Illinois. She was still drive from Indiana, you know, just to come. But when he retired, she had to, you know, establish care where she lived. But she cried. She loved Dr. Holstein, but establish a relationship with a primary care provider. Make sure you have an annual visit, right? If you don't have any kind of chronic conditions or anything like that, that is a blessing. Make sure that you know, are aware of what screenings you should have based on your age, and make sure that you get those done, right? And so that's number one. Number two, look at your diet, you know, clean up your diet, you know, see if your job will pay for you to go to a nutritionist, or if you don't mind, it's some good, you know, nutritional coaches out here. Like, I'm a certified nutrition coach. So, you know, I do give my patients a lot of, you know, counseling and direction as to, you know, what they should be eating and things of that nature. Not following the trends, because like low carb is not good for everybody, you know. Um, so we don't follow, you know, the trends. So nutrition, excuse me, make sure you drinking enough water. Now you get some people say drink half your body weight, drink a gallon. Let's start with just getting 64 in, because that's a struggle for a lot of people. You know, just strive for that. So you got your doctor, nutrition, water, activity. So I think the standard is like 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week. So I tell people, depending on what you're doing, now I'm guilty. I'm like the queen of cardio. I'll cardio every day, but I got to get into embracing the weight resistance, right? So you want to have a balance, you know, and you have to figure out what's best for you, because for some people, cardio is what helps them lose weight. Is what helps them, you know, maintain their weight and things of that nature. So you got to figure out what's good for you, but you definitely got to incorporate some kind of weight resistance. Um, Sleep. People underestimate sleep. If you're not getting at least 7 hours of continuous sleep per night, you need to do something about that. So, is it your sleep, you know, preparing for bed routine? Are you up on your phone? You know, are you doing all these things? So now you think, oh, I get into bed. Your brain is still like, you know, firing off. Um, Now, what can help you sleep and feel better in the morning? Now, you check with your provider. Let me put this disclaimer, I am a certified, board certified family nurse practitioner, but this advice I'm about to give you right here, do your research and follow up with your own provider. But magnesium glycinate is a game changer. I take 100 milligrams every night that I don't forget to take it. And when I say I wake up in the morning feeling refreshed, because that particular dose does well for me, I'm able to sleep, and I, you know, don't feel rickety in the morning. I don't feel my age even when I'm not, you know, exercising. But a lot of us are deficient in magnesium, and magnesium glycinate is a great one. It helps also with like helping to balance your blood sugars, and it's a good supplement. Magnesium glycinate. Follow up with your provider. Um, and then managing stress, you know, those are like your basics. If you can get good habits and systems around that, your health should be pretty solid. And if you already have chronic conditions, then educate yourself. the biggest thing you got to do when you with these providers is you have to advocate for yourself. So come in knowing some stuff. Not necessarily, just what I'm telling you, but go and research and read and compare. I mean, I do that. And, I am a provider, just because I see it here or there, I still go in and things of that nature. I was able to come to some conclusions about some of these weight loss medications before it made it to the like official side effects, or this is something to, be on the lookout for, this to happen, just from my own anecdotal experience with my patients in regards to changes in women's cycles. And even people, on the SSRIs, like for depression and anxiety and things of that nature, before they was really getting rolled out. But now I see that they do mention it in those official drug info sheets and stuff. So those are things. That's a good baseline to start. Let's see. Yeah, blood pressure, PSA, um, um, colon screening. Now, I think actually getting a colonoscopy is best. The reason I say that, I know people, I know they'll push the Cologuard because people are like, oh, I don't want to do the prep and this, and that. But with a colonoscopy, they can go in, they can see if you have polyps, they can remove them, they can test them, make sure that they, are not cancerous and things of that nature. I think I might have seen on a commercial that they say Cologuard now can not tell if you have polyps, but it was something like they could tell if something precancerous or something like that. But I still say I still vote for just have a colonoscopy. And the colonoscopy screening should start at 45 now instead of 50. It's a lot of people getting diagnosed with colorectal cancer and things of that nature. And it go back, in my opinion, to the food, the diet. I feel like, oh God, these poor kids that's eating these blue chips and uh, these bread, flaming hots and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, you know. Thank you, Slay Queen. I appreciate the sub. Okay, TW, you say in July. Yes, facial phobia. Let's see. Uh, okay, you taking magnesium with vitamin K2. Okay. We live in the information age, and there is no excuse to be completely ignorant about health. Absolutely. Reducing inflammation seems to be the common theme in healthcare. It is. It is. So I don't know if you was on when I mentioned this. So, and I got to do it when I get off. I have been praying and looking at the same time. I was like, I really want to learn more of a functional medicine approach, right? And have been looking at some different programs and things of that nature. And it something just wasn't grabbing me to be like, yep, I didn't put my card out here, and get registered. And so I'm part of a Facebook group called Black Nurse Entrepreneurs. And inside the group, one of the ladies was doing a webinar, and it's called Gut Entrepreneur Academy. And I missed the webinar, but I followed up with her and say, hey, you're going to have a replay or whatever, this, and that. So she was working to, get the replay edited so she can make it an evergreen type thing where she can, just use it multiple times without having to do it again. And we end up getting on a call. And I was like, oh my God, you are answer to a prayer. Because everything that I have been looking for and wanted in a program and an instructor is what her program is about. So I'm so excited about it. I'm going to be learning how to, because I'm sure everybody hear that gut health, gut health, gut health. Like for a lot of my patients, just having them get on a basic probiotic has been a game changer. like helping them stay regular, helping them uh, be less inflamed and things of that nature. And so I'm so excited about this program. It's I'm going to be learning how to take like a gut, do a gut analysis, interpret it, come up with protocols, based on that. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So it's going to help me better serve my current patients, but also provide a more functional medicine approach to wellness. So I'm excited about that. So once again, I'm adding something else to my plate. But I'm excited because, learning how to do that, I'm going to also learn how to even do like analysis from my strand of hair. And so this all kind of goes hand in hand with my DNA, my DNA services that I'm rolling out. So my DNA partnership that I have, the DNA lab that does the testing for me, they offer a wellness DNA. That wellness DNA looks at your DNA and it tells you based on your DNA, like what types of exercises you should be doing, what type of foods you should be eating and things of that nature. So it's going to be a dynamic package, but that's going to really be a package for people who for real looking for real transformation, like inside out, top to bottom. So I'm excited to put something like that together and have that for people. But yeah, it's a lot of information out here, and we just have to make sure that we're using it, so that we can stay informed and better take care of ourselves. Yeah, I'm excited, TW. I really am, because I do know so much stuff starting the gut. Like when I was in NP school, I was stressed. I was all the things, and my stomach just kind of stayed in knots and just all this stuff. They thought I had H. pylori. I was like, oh Lord, maybe something else going on. But I think it was just diet and anxiety from school. Because I had a couple of professors who I just feel like they had it out for me. I hate to say it. I don't think they like the way I look. Now I'll just leave it at that. So, but I made it. I made it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll be sharing that with y'all. Like I said, I got to register tonight. What else? And so I think I told y'all before, I'm like doing old school marketing with the flyers and the value pack coupon thing. So I'm hoping that will help bring me some good patients and prospects and things like that. Oh, guys, remember I told y'all about I had did a pitch competition about a month ago where I found out I didn't make it to the next round. But I'm proud of myself that I even put myself out there. But I don't know if I'm going to pursue anything like that again, because they talked about how well my video was. They was impressed with the growth of the clinic and all this stuff. But one of the comments as far as feedback was like, would have liked more enthusiasm at the end. It's healthcare. What more did you want me like to say? I was like, they just making up stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to be jumping through hoops, trying to get free money. I was like, I'll just stick to what I've been doing. Business credit has been fine. All right. Well, perfect timing. I'm going to go ahead. I've been on here an hour and 45 minutes. I always be like, oh, it's going to be 30 minutes. But then you never know who going to, come in and chop it up with you. So I'm going to get on off as well, too. But TW, if there's anything that I can ever assist with, information wise, to direct you to something, or just to give you an additional resource on anything, if you ever have any questions, just let me know. I don't know if you are on Instagram, but to get, reach out to me, quickly, I guess you can always DM me on Instagram. The Instagram is same OT underscore the number 2. So, but yeah, I will check you guys next week. But you know me, I'm liable to pop up on the live in the middle of the day. So might end up popping on here this weekend. But I hope your dinner is good. Okay, yeah. If you have any questions or you didn't quite understand something, yeah, not a problem. Well, y'all, I've enjoyed myself this evening. I hope you have too. And I hope everybody have a good night. Hope you have a great weekend. If you celebrate Easter, Resurrection Sunday, is it Passover or was that last week? Passover, if you're Jewish, I believe. Whatever your thing is, I hope you have a good weekend. Enjoy your family, friends. And until next time, I'm out. Peace.